Happy Monday and welcome to Yoga at Midday. I'm your host, Tawana Wright, Associate State Director of Community Outreach at AARP, Alabama. And of course, we have our great trainer, Becca Impella, co-owner of Practice Works. Hey, Becca, how are you doing today?
Good morning, afternoon, doing well. Glad to be with everybody again on Monday for yoga.
All right. So what do we have to look forward to today?
Well, today we're going to do yoga for the heart. So that may, kind of strike you as sound a little strange, but we're going to do some physical things that open up our chest and our shoulders, right? That actually open up this area around the heart, which is great if we sit a lot or use a computer a lot. But we'll also be doing some practices that are just helpful for feeling and cultivating kindness and compassion towards yourself and towards others, sending out sort of healing and love to the world at large, you could sort of think of it. So we'll be doing some of those types of things as well in our breath and our meditation practices.
That sounds good. So, Becca, you said something about opening up the chest area. Does this also enhance your ability to take in air?
Absolutely. So anytime we can get our posture a little more upright and get the rib cage and the chest and the fronts of the shoulders a little more open, we can take bigger breaths. We can take fuller breaths into our lungs. And if we are slouched or rounded, we actually can't take a very full breath, and it may lead us to feeling more tired, lethargic, or just not that great energy-wise, because we're not actually able to get a good breath into our lungs. So we'll be doing some of that today as well. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it sounds great. I'm going to step out of the way so you can take us through. Thanks, Becca.
Welcome. All right, so just a quick reminder to make sure these practices best serve you. Only do things that feel good to your body. It's perfectly fine to skip something that just doesn't seem right, to make your movements smaller, larger, or slightly different shape when we're making our movements, okay? So keep it comfortable for you. Let's find our seat in our chair. All right, so I've got just a nice folding chair. I'm going to put a blanket underneath my feet here to start. And if you don't touch the ground easily with your feet as you come to sitting in your chair, then something underneath your feet is a good idea. It'll just make you feel a little more settled, a little more supported and grounded. All right. And we're going to sit tall, make sure our spine is supported, maybe scooting back and using the back of the chair. Okay. We're going to try to avoid slouching or rounding. Okay? We're going to do a little bit of just opening breath work that centers our attention, helps us focus on what we're doing right now with our body and with our breath and with our hearts. So as I said, we're going to be doing some yoga for the heart today, both on the physical plane of opening the chest, but also in terms of cultivating loving kindness towards self and others. Okay, so we're going to start with our gathering breath. So arms are going to come down to the sides. And when you're ready, nice slow inhalation, sweep the arms out and up as high as you want to take them. And then exhale, bring the palms facing down slowly towards the lap. All right, so inhale at your own pace. You may go faster or slower than me. That's perfectly fine. Exhale, slow and steady. Start to pull the navel in a little bit so that you're completing that exhale more fully. We can think of this symbolically as if we're gathering up all the scattered attention, everything that's taken our attention away from ourselves already today, and I'm sure there's been plenty. Now we're bringing it back into our center. We're bringing our attention back, gathering up our energies, collecting it, centering it, focusing it. Let's do 3 more of these. Also, hopefully it's helping you to slow down and take a nice full breath. One more of these gathering breaths. going to pause and just let those hands rest at the front of the belly for a few moments. We want to encourage belly breathing, using our diaphragm to take a full, complete breath. So relax that belly. Breathe into the hands. Gently squeeze the belly in as you exhale. Just a few more of these. Again, I always am asking you to bring your attention, your focus to right here, right now, to your sensations in your body, to your breath, to this moment, right? Give us a break from being multitaskers, from being pulled and pushed in lots of directions at once, from all the distractions of our day. Right now, for the next 30 minutes, we're going to be able, hopefully, to just focus right now, right here, on what we feel in each breath that we take. Good. Now go ahead and lift those hands up. Now I want you to take your hands right up to your heart, sort of the center of the body here, okay? And just rest those hands kind of right on the breastbone, the sternum, or right near the collarbones, all right? And I want you to just breathe for a few moments here. Sit up nice and tall. Think about that area where your hands are resting as lifting up, trying to raise up towards the sky, the ceiling. And then breathe into this space in your body. See if you can encourage this upper part of the lungs to expand. The breastbone lifts, moves out. The collarbones broaden, widen. And those upper ribs lift and then lower. And if it's comfortable, try taking that full breath in and then just pausing a split second. So you fill up all the way to the top here, right into the heart. And just pause a split second or two, and then slowly exhale. Now one more time. See what it's like to pause, to hold that breath a moment, and then exhale. Sometimes just bringing our hands to our heart and breathing into the hands and into the heart center can help us just connect to our feelings, right? So whatever's weighing on us from an emotional standpoint. So I encourage that actual contact with your heart center with your hands. All right, so sit a little bit forward. I'm going to move whatever was underneath the feet at this point. Go ahead and drop the arms to the sides. And let's loosen up this area of the shoulders and the chest for better breathing and mobility. Circle those shoulders up, back, and down a few times. Now, as typical, we'll do some things seated in the chair, and then we will eventually do some things standing as well. Good. Now draw those arms back. Start to reach them back behind you. If you can grab hold of the sides of your chair, go ahead and try that. If your chair is just not built that way and there's nothing to grab onto, no worries. Reach the arms back. We'll try and pull those shoulder blades back and down and use the shoulder blades back here to actually push and lift the breastbone. You can lift that chin and gently wag it from side to side. And again, with this chest nice and open, breathe into this top part here. Notice the sensation there. Good. On your next exhale, bring those arms back to the front. Sit tall. Allow the chin to fold forward. And just give that a nice roll from side to side so that we loosen up the neck. Good. And then lift up that head. Bring the hands up to the heart. All right. So go ahead and sit tall. Inhale and pull back. So we're going to pull back, squeeze those shoulder blades again, lift the chin up. Exhale, drop the arms back and down, kind of like we did a moment ago, but don't grab the chair. And then inhale, sweep those arms out to the sides, look up again, and then exhale, come right back into the heart. All right, so we start right here, hands at the heart, feel inward. Inhale, open outward. Exhale, stretch the arms back and down, get even more open. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, gather back down into the heart. So again, inhale, pull back. Chin up. Exhale, reach back. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, back to the heart. Couple more times. This little sequence right here, just these 4 movements of the arms can be a great way to take a break, get some deeper breaths, mobilize that upper back and chest and heart area. If you find yourself slouched, rounded, tired, sad, let's do one more. Inhale. Exhale. Sweep up. Exhale. Back to the heart. All right, now we're going to do a little bit of twisting because it's just good for the spine and it actually helps with the lung health and the lung-heart relationship. So sit tall and turn in one direction, bringing that front hand, first of all, to the knee. We're going to start there, but then we're going to change that position. So push down into the feet, lift up with the chest, push this hand and knee into one another. Your other arm can rest somewhere on the back of the chair. Now, find yourself lifted, tall, engage around those ribs and belly, and see if you can release this front hand and bring it right to the heart. Keep turning. Head can go ahead and look around towards the back if you'd like. Breathe right here into this hand on your chest. And then we'll unwind that and come back around to the center. I want you to see what you notice, especially in your upper back. We can think of that as being the back of the heart, right? So the heart sits here in the center and it's got the front, but also the back. So we're loosening up the back of the heart as well. All right, twist to the other side. Sit tall, turn the other way. Start with that front hand on the knee like we've done before, if you've done this class with me in previous weeks. Sit nice and tall, push down into the feet, lift up into that chest. Turn the rib cage, only as far as is comfortable. We'll all have a different place that we go to. And then see if you can take that hand away from the knee and place it up on the heart. Breathe into that hand, helping you to stay tall. Turning the head if you'd like, all the way towards the back. And then release it all the way back around to the front. Shake those arms out, roll those shoulders. All right, now let's go ahead and stand up. And we'll still use this chair that you have, whatever chair you have, but you may decide you want to use a wall or a different piece of furniture, so that's okay too. All right, I'm going to turn my chair so that I can just use the back of it. All right, and let's just stretch out the legs a little bit and the spine by walking the feet back, having the hands here on the top of the chair, or they could be on a wall, on the top of a desk or a tabletop. And just gently stretch back into your hips. Knees probably going to be bent for most of us. 2 more breaths. This really helps to open up the sides of the heart, the rib cage here, which again will help us with better, fuller breathing. All right, now lift up. I'm going to step one leg towards the chair. Now, if you don't find you need to hold on to something, you don't let go, all right? But I want you to feel comfortable and safe. So if you have some balance issues, want to stay secure, keep one hand on the chair. Okay, now whatever leg is back, all right, we're gonna reach back into that leg. Give a nice stretch through that calf, squeeze that glute, and then the hand on the same side, you're gonna reach that forward. We're gonna do a little bit of a bow and arrow pull. Gonna inhale and pull that elbow back, turning the chest. And then exhale, come back forward. So inhale, pull, turn, exhale, come forward. Now, maybe you're not holding on to the chair, in which case you're reaching forward with the other arm. Do 2 more of these. Pull, turn, and then exhale back to the front. Pull, and exhale back to the front. Hands to the top of your chair or to your wall. And again, stretch back. See if you notice any difference, one side compared to the other. We just did that turning, stretching, reaching the arm on one side. See what you notice. And then lift up, step the other leg forward. Now remember, your stance could be shorter or longer than mine. So see what feels comfortable to you. Keep a hold on your chair as needed. Press into that back leg now. Make it strong. Engage from the glute and press all the way down to the heel. All right, and then the arm on the same side as the back leg is going to reach forward and get ready to do that bow and arrow pull. So again, we're trying to mobilize around the rib cage, the chest, use those muscles on the upper back, open the muscles in the chest. Inhale and pull back, turning. Exhale, reach it back forward. Maybe you pick that other arm up. Maybe you keep it on the chair. Couple more times. Two more of these. Pull back, turning that chest and rib cage. One more. And then last time, hands on the top of the chair or the wall and stretch back. Breathe into the sides of your rib cage, your underarms. And then walk it on up, stand tall, and roll out those shoulders for me. All right, so now I'm just going to turn my chair. You can take it in any position. I just want to stay facing the screen. I'm going to get on one side of it. Again, you might decide that your chair doesn't work as well for this and you want to use the wall. Okay, you can put your hand on the wall. So I'm going to take my hand that's close to the chair, put the palm facing forward, and then I'm just going to step a little bit forward. So this arm is behind me, rolling my shoulder back. Okay. Getting a stretch through that arm. And then I can try adding a little turn of my body away from that arm. So remember, if your chair's not tall enough, doesn't have a good back, put that hand on the wall and then turn yourself away from the wall. So again, we're trying to stretch open the one side of the chest, the shoulder, the arm. Shouldn't be painful, so back off if it is. Come out at any time that you need to. And then release. Step it back. Shake that arm out. All right, and then make so that you can do the other side. Maybe go around the chair or turn around on the wall. So hand on the chair, so a little bit out from the body, or hand on the wall. You're a little bit away from the wall. And then I'm going to step forward. So that arm starts to pull back. Shoulder rolls back. Lift up into the same area of the heart. And see about turning. That turn may be real slight. Breathing into that chest, into the front shoulder and arm there. And then relax and step back until you can release that arm, shake it out. Just take a moment to notice how it feels. All right, we're going to come back to sitting in the chair. I'm going to keep my chair sideways for the first moment here, just so you can better see this next thing. Now, everybody may have a different style chair. In fact, I'm quite certain that you do. So if this position doesn't work great for your chair, you can do what we did earlier, which is reach back, maybe hold your chair, and try to get that chest to come up. Okay? Now, if the back of your chair is such that you can scoot back and lean over it, this might feel really nice. So you can try this. Arms can stay down, or it might feel nice to hold the head as you lean into it a little bit more. Okay? So I don't want anyone tipping their chair over, and if it feels like too much on your low back, come to this position instead. Okay, we're finding a back bend, we're finding a chest opener, and trying to just give it a few breaths. All right, so let's take 3 more breaths. Or if you've just gotten in your position and you want to stay a little longer, you can stay a little longer. Good. One more nice heartfelt breath. And then go ahead and sit back up tall and bring those arms forward. Right. Now we're going to do a little bit of the opposite direction just to balance out. And remember, we have the back of the heart. We can also open. So arms out and then wrap them in front and give yourself a hug. Right. So this is also just a way of symbolizing care and love for self, all right? So breathe into that upper back between the fingertips. Open up the back of the heart. Let your chin drop, your elbows drop. This also counters that big back bend position that we were just in. Now take a moment, notice which arm is on top, because we need to do it the other way also. And then inhale and open back up. And then hug yourself again with the other arm on top. Again, breathe into that upper back between the shoulder blades. Drop the chin, drop the elbows. One more deep breath here. And then take the arms down and shake them out. All right. All right, so one last movement practice, and then we'll finish with a little heartfelt loving kindness meditation. All right. So for our last movement then, pose, take the hands here at the belly and then open them out. So the elbows are bent and we're squeezing those shoulders back, our palms are open, we're just opening up this front. And then walk your legs a little more open. All right. And if you want to, you can try to come off of the chair and hold a bit of a squat here, okay? We call this the yoga goddess squat. Wide legs, knees open, heart open, shoulders rolled back. You can sit back down anytime you need to. Just make sure you land in the chair. 2 more breaths. 1 more. Exhale, bring the hands back to the legs. If you're up, sit back down in the chair and bring the legs forward. All right. So just settle in a little more comfortably in your chair now. Take a moment just to check in, to notice how you're feeling, how your energy is feeling. You know, how you're feeling through this chest, shoulders, and arms, even the upper back. And check in with how well you're breathing. Okay, so we've been purposely breathing a little more fully. We've been moving our arms, our trunk, our ribs, our chest, our shoulder blades, all mobilizing the area that contains the lungs. So hopefully you're noticing that you're breathing a little more fully and have a little more ease in your breath. Let's take about 3 more breaths here. Just enjoy that feeling of being able to breathe fully, breathe deep. And I want you to take a hand up to the heart center. And I want you to gently, slowly make a circle on your chest. It could be small. You could even use the fingertips instead of the whole palm. And as you're making these slow, gentle circles on the chest, I want you just to imagine that you're helping to soothe your heart. Okay, so whether your heart's had any anxiety or anguish or difficulty lately or not, all of us have experienced some sort of heartache at some point in our lives, right? Or maybe we know someone else who's experiencing heartache right now. So we're going to just imagine that we're soothing that heartache, either old, current, our own, or someone else's. And then just let that hand come to stillness. Lift that other hand up and place it over the first hand. Let both hands just rest on the heart. You can close the eyes if you'd like, or gaze down at the floor and soften the focus of your eyes. And we're going to finish with the loving kindness meditation, or the metta meditation. In some traditions, it's considered a prayer from the heart. Okay? Whatever you want to think of it as, we're just calling up intentions of kindness from our own self back to ourselves and out to others. Okay? There's many versions of the loving kindness meditation. I'm going to say a few phrases out loud, and I encourage you to either repeat them out loud in your own space or just repeat them internally to yourself. Okay? May you know peace. You can substitute the word I as you speak to yourself. May you know happiness. May you be healthy and whole. May you have all that you need. And then we send this loving kindness meditation out to others. You can continue to repeat after me in your head or out loud. May all beings everywhere know peace. May all beings everywhere be happy. May all beings everywhere be healthy and whole. May all beings everywhere have all that they need. And just sit for a few more moments with whatever feelings have come up for you as we've said that loving kindness meditation. And go ahead and drop the hands down to your lap. Lift up your gaze or your eyes. Thanks so much for joining myself and AARP of Alabama again. I hope you can go forth in your day feeling a little more heartful, a little more open, inspired to be kind. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Becca. We're going to take a commercial break and come back. We got a question for you.
Great.
All right, Becca. Thank you so much for that class today.
Yeah.
We had a question come in, and it seems like a couple other people were also having the same issue.
Okay.
Sometimes when I do yoga, I get cramps in my feet. What can I do to prevent this or ease the cramps?
Well, cramping in the feet or in the calves especially is a fairly common thing, actually, and it can be related to several different things, but typically it's because those muscles are a little on the tight side and, just kind of a little sticky in there. And when we do something like, say, first move the feet and point the toes pretty hard, it may cause those muscles to overdo it and to seize up. Or if we just put the leg or the foot into a position that then triggers that further tightening of that muscle. So what I encourage is to start with your volume turned down, not your volume on your computer, but your internal volume. And if you're getting excited about your yoga and you just go full tilt and you just move as far as you think you can, that volume may be too high to start with, and it may be more likely to trigger that cramping. So start with a more moderate, gentle movement and work your way up to doing the full or bigger movement, especially with your feet and legs, if that's where you're tending to cramp. So moderation is often what's going to help with something like that. And then if the cramp persists, sometimes it's helpful to get up and put some weight on that foot to help that cramp come out. So if we were doing a version of this chair style yoga and moving your foot was giving you a cramp, and putting it back down on the floor and kind of pressing down into it, or even shifting your weight into it, may help alleviate that cramping for the moment.
All right. Well, thanks, Becca.
You're welcome.
We'll see you next week. Folks,
Okay.
Remember to join us next week for Yoga at Midday. Have a great week.